Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. At the Forrester manse, Steffy assures her family her plan will work. Ridge asks if she induced the CEO. Steffy says Hope and Brooke will be in handicap, but she's not concerned. Eric thinks it's an uphill battle. Steffy knows they're not naive and are trying to figure out her motive. She has to believe she's induced them. We cannot go down like this. Forrester Creations is ours and I intend to get it back. At Forrester, Brooke, Hope, and Carter bandy whether or not to bring Steffy back. Hope complains about the effects she did before she left. How can we trust her? Carter reminds them he asked Steffy and Ridge to stay on. She's reevaluated, so how can he say no? Brooke says he's right, they can't really help her from coming back. Hope thinks Carter can, he's the director of the LLC. Steffy has the implicit to ail his plans. At the sanitarium, Lee takes a piece of Tom Starr's liver and puts it in a petri dish. She examines it under a microscope and muses, Tom Starr, are you Luna's father? At Bill's place, Luna runners through great prospects and also puts it down, so predictable. She no sooner lays on the lounge for a nap than Bill rushes by and tells her Will's at the gate. He can't see you. He implores her to move it, so she hightails it out of the living room and hides. Will comes by and Bill greets him madly. Will asks if he always hangs out in the foyer. It's weird. Luna smiles as he asks, is everything all right with you, Dad? Bill invites his son to sit down and asks, to what do I owe the pleasure? Will says Liam mentioned that he's been working from home a lot. It's not like him to be down from his office. He notices the books on the coffee table and suggests he's processing a that's happened in the last couple of months. Bill teases that he sounds like his mama and insists he's forfeiture. Will asks, okay, but what about Luna? Bill tells his son he doesn't have to bring her up. Will knows it affected him, he was poised about having a son. He's glad that wasn't the case, can you imagine having to handle all that right now? Bill tells Will he doesn't need to bring her up. I don't ever need to suppose about Luna again. At the sanitarium, Lee calls down to the lab about her maternity test and also picks up a vial of blood and holds it in her hand. Latterly, she returns to the office with a box labeled as a DNA test tackle and puts on her gloves. Taking a tar from the liver and the blood sample, Lee runs the DNA test. At Forrester, Carter, Brooke, and Hope continue to debate if Steffy can be trusted. Brooke's not sure, but she thinks they should give her a chance to prove herself. Perhaps she'll move the others to return as well. Hope knows she means Ridge and questions her mama. Brooke insists they need to give Steffy a chance and prayers to Carter. He picks up his phone and calls Steffy to tell her they'd like her to come to Forrester. At the manse, Steffy disconnects from Carter and tells Ridge and Eric, they want to see me. She's sure if their answer was no, they wouldn't ask to see her. Eric warns her to be cautious, he's nervous what these serpents might have up their sleeve. Steffy reassures him. She refuses to let them take his company from him. They've forgotten how important the Stephanie Forrester genes are there in my DNA. Ridge and Eric beam as she walks out. Ridge admits it bothers him not knowing what she's up to, but he trusts her. She's a force of nature and, he helped raise her. Eric says, she's going to do it, Ridge, however, it's Steffy Forrester, if anybody can save our company. At Forrester, Carter tells Brooke and Hope that Steffy should be there soon. He wants to know what Hope is allowing. She doesn't suppose it's the stylish decision for the company he envisaged, but the decision rests with him, and I trust you. Ultimately, Steffy arrives and Carter thanks her for coming back. She thanks him for considering her offer and assumes he's made a decision. Carter says, we have. He knows she doesn't believe his motives for taking over weren't pure, but they were. He hurt her, and he struggles with that, but he wants her to suppose about how she treated Hope and the Logans in the history. She fired her and embarrassed her. He can only imagine how she feels about him, but then she's wanting to return to Forrester. Steffy nods, as chairman. She acknowledges it's been a delicate situation. She doesn't like it, but she's realistic. The company is too important to simply walk down. Steffy understands who has the power and control, and there's nothing she can do about it. She can bring a lot to the company and doesn't need to be liked. She'll do what needs to be done. You know that's true. So, Carter, is it a yeah or a no? Do we've a deal? Carter walks over and says, drink back, Steffy. They shake hands, and he warns her not to make him lament this. She won't. This feels right for me. For Forrester. She'll help make Forrester everything it's meant to be. Steffy will succeed and nothing will stop her. At Bill's place, Will persists with his line of questioning about Luna. Bill tells him he's moved past it and is looking toward the future. Will admits that when Liam told him he was spending time down from the office, he allowed. There was going to be a new woman in his life. At the sanitarium, Lee flashes back to Luna confessing to her. The timekeeper goes off and she murmurs, the moment of verity. She checks the DNA test and her expression falls. Luna Nozawa knows she has to play by Bill Spencer's rules if she wants to continue living at the Spencer estate. Since Luna would much rather have a snug room in the manse than a harsh jail cell, it's easy to see why she's so eager to fall in line. Still, there's been a lot of focus on Luna's ankle examiner, which will spark an alarm if she dares to venture off the Spencer property. It seems like the show's structured to a big moment where Luna indeed goes out of range. Luna wouldn't just throw down her chance at freedom without a good reason. Since Luna understands that breaking the rules could get her transferred back to captivity, she wouldn't bolt unless commodity was motivating her. Now that Luna is crushing on Will Spencer, he might play a part in why Luna strays from the property. Remy Price could fluently escape from police guardianship and target Will at some point. What if Luna ever intercepts a communication and figures out that Will's in peril? Maybe Will could leave his phone behind at the manse and get in creepy textbook with a vengeance preamble. Luna might hear about Remy's flight and grow concerned after Will heads to Il Giardino. When Luna is unfit to get in touch with Bill, she might take matters into her own hands and dash off to advise Will herself. Luna might indeed ambush Remy from before and stop him from wiping Will off the chart or commodity along those lines. Of course, it's also possible Luna will save Elector Forrester from Remy's clutches rather. Although Luna would much rather be the woman on Will's arm, it would score her some points if she came to Elector's deliverance right now. Once she plays the idol, Luna could always turn on Elector down the road. Whatever the case, Luna might expose this whole house arrest situation by going off the Spencer property to save someone's life. It could leave Bill, Will and Elector defending Luna, depending on how it all goes down. Prognostications point to further manipulation from Luna, so there could be some redemptive scenes along the way as she continues to play up her metamorphosis. Luna will have many tricks up her sleeve, so stay tuned for updates on any wild news ahead.